this way. Come on, over here. Come on. All right. Good morning, good morning. From the Appalachian Trail, we are leaving the shelter area. So today is Friday, August 23rd, day number 113. I'm gonna clean this up here. Yeah, so this place that we stayed at last night, the shelter is called Mark Nopal Shelter. And apparently the tent sites have a separate name. It's called the Bassett Brook Campsite. Not sure why that is. Most shelters have tenting space, and it's just referred to as the tenting space for the shelter. But the tenting space here, I guess it seems like it's a little more developed. Like there's actually a little trail system that leads to the different tent sites, and they also have a separate group tent site, which is where Riley and I stayed at. So maybe that's why it has a separate name for the campsite. Possibly also it was originally a campsite, and then maybe they added a shelter later on. I don't know, but it's yeah, the Mark Nopal Shelter and the Bassett Brook Campsite. And so we are now back on the side trail leading back to the AT. It's like a 0.2 mile side trail, so should be there soon. Riley seems eager to go here. We're getting off to a decent start today. Okay, Riley. Okay, yep. So here, we're back on the AT now. There's the signs for for everything there. Mark Nopal Shelter, Bassett Brook Campsite. Going north here. So I originally woke up this morning and needed to use the bathroom, and I did that. And then when I got back in my tent, instead of getting back in my sleeping bag and liner and going back to sleep, I actually started getting stuff ready to get going. So that helped with definitely helped with getting off to a more reasonable start today. I don't know what time it is, but I have a feeling it's earlier than yesterday. And it did help being in the shelter area with other people, because I heard what actually woke me up was I heard people at the shelter area, which was it was pretty close to us. I heard people talking this morning, so that helped me to get up as well. I was reasonably warm last night. So I think the people at the shelter, I think they're starting their hike as well, and they might be continuing north. And so Riley is definitely going to wait on them. He's wagging his tail, so they will probably be catching us soon, because Riley is not going to continue until he sees them. So if we just left a little bit earlier, we probably could have gotten ahead of that group, and Riley wouldn't have heard them talking, and we would have just been able to walk. But we basically just left, like, just a minute before they left. like I said, there was a big group at the campsite last night. The bear box was completely full when I got there. And so apparently it seems like it's a group of college students from Yale, because they all just passed us, and there were like 15 of them. And I know this time of year there's a lot of colleges that will do team building exercises prior to the start of the fall semester. So it seems like it's a group from Yale. And as they passed by, several of the students said hello and wished us well on my hike, and one of them said, "I like your dog." So they were nice. That's cool. And I'm just waiting a little bit to give them some space so that we don't crowd them out, and they can hike without feeling like they are being followed or anything. We'll continue on shortly, Riley, and then this will help us because Riley will be motivated to go forward. But we'll just try to moderate our pace so we don't get too close to them, and hopefully that'll be a good pace for us. Okay, Riley? So we didn't stay behind the Yale group for long. They stopped shortly after they passed us to, I guess, take a water break. And so Riley and I caught up to them, and they moved aside and let us pass. And then, of course, Riley wanted to stay there, but I didn't. You know, they need to do their team building activities. Riley, come on, dude. And so I didn't want to crowd them out, so I forced Riley to follow me, doing exactly what I'm doing now. I'm just tugging on the leash, and eventually he follows me. Oh, buddy. Yeah, I kind of knew this would happen. It's nice when they're ahead of us, but when they're behind us, then it makes Riley want to stop and wait for them. Anyway, so this is the part of the climb up Mount Greylock. So it's just a gradual grade. I feel like we've put some decent distance between us and them. I don't hear their voices. But Riley is a smart boy. He knows they're behind us. He is such a smart boy. Yep, I hear their voices now. So that's going to make the more they... I mean, of course, they're big groups. They're going to be talking. And when Riley hears them, he's just going to want to wait for them, and he's wagging his tail. Hopefully we don't bother them too much with all the crisscrossing that could possibly happen today. I know, Riley. Okay, so I've got a new strategy here. So the group has passed us. It's like 15 people. So we're gonna give them some space, let them get ahead, and then we're gonna continue on. And then when they inevitably take a break further up the trail, I think I'm just gonna stop and stay behind them and not pass, because that's just easier than trying to pass them and then them catching up to us and them passing us. I'm just gonna try to do our best to stay behind them. It's only like 3.3 miles to Mount Greylock from the shelter, and I assume when they get up to Mount Greylock they'll probably spend some time to take in the area, and it's a big area. So once we get up there, then I think we can safely pass, and that'll give us enough time. But until we get up there, I'm just going to stay behind. So that is our strategy, Riley. Riley is such a good boy. So our strategy of kind of staying behind the big group is working fine. We're just moving slowly, and that's actually, hey It's okay, buddy. And that's very easy to do. Just move slowly. It's a nice, relaxing hike. The trail is very pleasant. I think we've done a good portion of the uphill. There's probably more uphill to do right before we get to the summit of Mount Greylock. But it's not overly rocky at all, so it's a very pleasant trail. I know, and Riley is barking now, but he's not, for the most part, he hasn't been barking. I think he's barking now because, like, I'm talking and he's like, we got to get moving. But he's not barking for the most part. And yeah, a beautiful water source here. Yeah, so it's working fine. And we gradually catch up, but then we kind of stay like as soon as I can start to see them that we're getting close, I pull back, and like right now I just decided to sit down and let them get ahead. I know, Riley. So we'll continue on now. So we're less than a mile from the summit, and there's this beautiful pond that we've come out to, and look at the little structure over there. Little mini house. Pretty cool. There's also a road that we've crossed a couple times that leads up to the summit to make it easy for people to get up there. And I think the college group decided to walk the road once they got the opportunity to. So I don't think they're ahead of us, but they'll probably be up on the summit when we get up there. And this is the summit. Well, we're very close to the summit. That's the monument that they have on the summit. And so the AT continues that way. And that's called Bascom Lodge there. There's a restaurant there. So we're gonna go in and get some water, and I'm gonna feed Riley there. And then we're gonna come back here and continue on the AT. I know, right? I know, buddy. Lots of people up here. Mr. Riley. All right, so I took a break over at the lodge there and gave Riley some dog food, and now we are trying to continue on. And look at this awesome little piece of art here. All right, yeah, so we just talked with a nice family there, and they asked me questions, and yeah, look at this beautiful, it's called a relief map. So it's got Mount Greylock here. This is Brody Mountain. Here's the visitor center where we are. Hold up, buddy. McDonald Brook, the town of Cheshire. We were there yesterday. And this is the AT. So it goes right over there, all the way over there, and that's the summit. Yeah, so this is where we are right now. This is the town of Adams. And then we're going to be walking this way, and this is the town of Mount Williams, about 6 miles from here.
It isn't too bad of elevation getting going.
Oh yeah. I think we could do it.
600 million years ago, this area was under a warm, shallow ocean. As the underlying tectonic plates shifted, their continents collided, pushing the land upward into a great range of mountains. The ocean sediments were compressed with tremendous pressure and heat, forming the quartzite, marble, and schist of Mount Greylock. 300 million years of continual erosion by wind and rain have created the landscape we see. Today, this site is part of the 12,500 acre. Hello, how are you? Good. Mount Greylock State Reservation. The Appalachian Trail on its way from Georgia to Maine crosses this summit. Mount Greylock inspires writers and artists, challenges hikers and skiers, and provides a home for flora and fauna not found anywhere else in Massachusetts. All right, very good. So we're continuing on up to that summit over there. All right, so we're gonna briefly go inside here. It seems like we're allowed in here. Mount Greylock War Memorial Tower, 9:30 to 8 p.m. Hold up, buddy. Oh, wow. But I think there's only one entrance here. I know, right? Yeah. Very echoey in here. All right, so. Those immortal dead who live again in minds made better by their presence. Life is no life to him that dares not to die. Grim death has vanished, leaving in its stead the shining glory of the living dead. Sleep well, heroic souls, in silence. Sleep lapped in the circling arms of kindly death. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep through poppies grow in Flanders fields. Okay, we're out. All right, let's go back, Riley. Come on. Hold up, buddy. All right, and we're just gonna go out and see the view over here. Come on, Riley. Over here, buddy. Hello. Come on, Riley. Over here, buddy. Oh, Riley. He sees Rome and Firemaster over there. Oh, Riley. So I wanted to go take a look at the view. I guess this can just be our view, but like Riley is not moving because his friends are over there.
I see you, man.
Watch out, buddy. Hello.
Yeah, again.
Yes, again. Hold up, buddy.
Riley, this Riley actually was doing that earlier too, just rolling.
He roll it.
Just like,
Yeah. He does. He like to scratch his back? Is that part of it? Yeah. I think that's partly what Riley likes, scratching his back.
Yeah, he used to go more on hikes too, but he's 11 turning 12.
Sure.
Kind of like it. Now you want to say hi?
Riley, be good, buddy. Be good. That's good. That's good.
See, that was a nice hello.
Yes, that was a very nice hello. Thank you. That dog's name is Riley as well. They were sitting next to us at a picnic table down near the lodge. And I heard them refer to their dog as Riley. And I said, "What's your dog's name?" And they said, "It's Riley." And I said, "Guess what my dog's name is? It's Riley also." So that was pretty cool. Riley, let's go look at the view. Come on. Let's go look at the view. Come on, buddy. Over here. No, over here, Riley. Come on. Over here, Riley.
Yeah, when you guys are gone.
Come on, buddy.
Yeah, they were just like kind of quiet.
got up to shenanigans when we were gone.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Like big time.
Oh, that well,
Come on, Riley. Ugh. Hello, how are you? Come on, buddy. Over here, Riley. Riley, hold up, buddy. Hello. Hold up, buddy. Yes. How is your hike up?
Pretty good.
Yes,
You're
great.
the first and the third hiker I've seen up here.
I'm the first?
Yeah.
Cool.
Lots of people for sure.
Yes, indeed.
You going northbound?
Yes, I am. We are. We are going north.
Yes, you guys all.
No, not you, me.
When you guys start?
We started on May 3rd from
Sweet.
Springer Mountain.
Awesome.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the Appalachian Trail?
I'm through hiking.
You're
too.
through it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not with the college group. I'm sorry. Okay. I didn't realize. Yeah. Riley, hey buddy. Yeah. We're on the north side of Mount Greylock. and it's a very nice day, nice and sunny. It is Riley weather. Riley weather means it is in a temperature zone where it's just very comfortable for Riley. It's not too hot, and there's a nice coolness in the air, so he can just hike. However, basically the only thing that limits his hiking is like when his muscles get tired. It's not when he's not going to overheat in this weather. So he can go very far in this type of weather, especially when he's got the proper motivation in the form of other hikers. Firemaster and Rome, I think they left Mount Greylock a little bit before us, but enough before us that Riley doesn't know that they're ahead of us. So he's not going ahead like gung-ho like he does when he knows they're ahead of us. But he's still going fine. We passed several hikers coming up the north side as we were just departing Mount Greylock. This way, Riley. And so that caused Riley to kind of look back a lot. And we took a break for a short while. Actually, kind of a long while. We took a break. Riley kind of plopped down. And so I obliged, and I sat down on the side of the trail and took a little cat nap. And then when I woke up, and I decided to get going, Riley was ready to go as well. I feel like I'm very boring right now. I'm just like reciting information. Not much emotion. I'm still kind of waking up from my cat nap. It's a beautiful day. Nothing to complain about. We're hiking fine. We're safe and sound. We're not too hot. We're not cold. Really nothing to complain about. Beautiful campsite right there. All right, so I was really out of it earlier. I just realized that ever since we woke up from our break and I woke up from my cat nap, I've been going in the wrong direction. And I didn't realize it until we basically got almost all the way back to Mount Greylock. So that's really a shame. When we got up from the cat nap, Riley actually wanted to go in the opposite direction than I thought was the right direction. So Riley kind of knew the right direction to go in. But I was like, no, Riley, we gotta go the other way. And I was just mixed up. And then as I was continuing to hike on, the trail started to take a steep, kind of a steep upward incline, whatever. We started to go like steeply uphill. And I was like, well, this is surprising. I thought we were going down the Mount Greylock. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just like a temporary uphill. And then I saw a hiker who was coming down, and he was like another high point. And I didn't question him. I just chatted with him just briefly. And I was thinking to myself, like, Mount Greylock's behind us. Like, what high point are you talking about? But I didn't question him. I just assumed he was talking about some other high point in addition to Mount Greylock. And then shortly after that, I saw Big Ramen, who I last saw, I think, near like Upper Goose Pond Cabin. And I was like, well, that's interesting. He must be going southbound today. Sometimes people do that. Sometimes they like slack pack and they start going in the different direction. But I didn't question Big Ramen. I just kind of said hello. Yeah, there weren't really any big landmarks for me to latch onto to realize that I was going in the wrong direction. Riley, hold up, buddy. Man. So we probably, I think we got down the mountain probably at least like 1.5 miles. Maybe 2 miles. And then we hiked all the way back up, and now we're hiking all the way back down again. So it's the first time that's happened to me, I think, on this hike, where I've gone in the wrong direction by accident. Try to avoid that going forward. Yep, we passed by that. So I'm making Riley hike extra because of this, and I'm making myself hike extra. Anyway, at least we got it corrected now. So this is a little view here. I think this is called Mount Prospect. We just had to take a very slight detour off the AT here. Hold up, buddy. Riley, hold up, buddy. So we came from that direction, and Mount Greylock, Bascom Lodge, 3.2 miles. Gosh. So we've only done 3.2 miles since the summit of Mount Greylock. Net trail miles. That includes the back and forth that we did when I accidentally led us in the wrong direction against Riley's better instincts. But it's okay. I'm definitely disappointed, but I'm recovering. I'm getting better. I had plenty of time to think about it. It's not like either of us have sustained an injury or a serious injury. It's not anything serious like that. It's just a matter of extra miles that we walked. Hold up, buddy. Riley, hold up. I met a southbounder shortly after we got back going in the right direction, and I relayed to him what had happened because I wanted somebody to commiserate with and to share my misfortune with. And he made me feel better a little bit. He said his trail name it's in Spanish and it means the skinny one, and it's like L, and I forgot what the word is, but I think it starts with an F, but I forgot what the word is, but he told me it translates to the skinny one. And he said that this is his 4th time doing the AT. He's done it twice northbound, and then the 3rd time he did it southbound, and now he's doing it again southbound. So I'll have two Nobos and 2 Sobos. And he said that he has walked in the wrong direction many times. I don't know if he seemed authentic when he said that. He could have just been saying that to make me feel better. And he said he calls those miles bonus miles when you walk in the wrong direction. And yeah, I mean, we're out here to walk. We're out here to hike. We're out here to have fun. So we just got to hike a little bit extra. And I was thinking, for some reason this thought came into my mind. There's that saying, like there's no use crying over spilt milk or spilled milk. I feel like this is one of those situations where I'm definitely disappointed. But I feel like I'm making too big of a deal out of it. And it's comparable to spilled milk in that it's something that's not permanent. It's, you know, spilled milk is easily replaceable. A beverage is easily replaceable. It's not like you broke your leg or anything like that. So it's just, you know, tomorrow, you know, I mean, I definitely won't forget about this, because this is something that hardly ever happens to me. So I'm sure I'll remember it. But in the future, I will probably look back on it with fondness, just like I look back on many things that happen during the hike with fondness. And this is one of those things that's definitely going to stand out in my memory. And just because of how disappointed I felt initially when I realized that I was going in the wrong direction. But it's something that we're going to easily get through. We're going in the right direction now, and we're course corrected, and it's kind of a lesson for the future too. Like, I don't usually pay that much attention to where the sun, like, usually when I look at the sun, I'm kind of looking to see how high it is or low it is in the sky to get a sense of how much daylight's left. Since I don't often look at the time, but I don't often pay that much attention to where the sun is in the sky, like whether it's on my right or on my left. And that's something that I can easily pay more attention to. And so, like, right now, we're in the, I would assume, late afternoon, early evening, and so I'm going north. I believe I'm going north, and the sun is on my left, which means it's in the western part of the sky, and that makes sense because the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, so the sun is where it should be. But if I was going in the wrong direction, then I'd look up at the sun and I'd be like, the sun is to my right. That doesn't make sense. So that's something that I should probably pay more attention to going forward, just as like a safety check, especially after Riley and I take a break and we're getting ready to go again. If there's any doubt in my mind about what direction to go in, looking at the sun can definitely be something that can be useful. And especially after I take a nap, that's when I'm probably most likely to be a little disoriented about what direction I need to go in. And it's always good to double check your instincts, even if you don't have any doubts. There's nothing wrong with double checking things, with either, just looking at the sun or turning my phone on and checking my 4-Hour app, stuff like that. I'll feel better by the end of the day, I think. I'm already starting to feel better, but I think once we get our requisite miles in, and whatever happens, I think I'll feel mostly better by the end of the day. Riley feels better already. All right, so I think we have finally we've done a long descent, and we are finally getting close to the town of I think we're in Williamstown. Actually, Williamstown is to the west, and there's a town called North Adams to the east, but we are definitely in some town right now, whether it be Williamstown or North Adams. I think we have about a half-mile walk on this road, and then from there, I believe it's a left turn to get to the Stop and Shop. The sun is noticeably lower in the sky now, but notice that it's to our left, so that makes sense. We're going in the right direction. So we're going to get to the Stop and Shop, and hopefully we'll be able to leave the Stop and Shop before dark and get back on the trail and get a few more miles in. And then maybe have some good food before we go to bed tonight. That would be super nice. I see an AT sign over there, I think. And it would also be nice to do some reading tonight. Didn't do any reading last night, so it's like 3 nights in a row. It's often toughest to control Riley when we're in a town, because he just wants to smell all the grass and smell all the shrubs. Riley, will you stay here? Oh my goodness. Riley, come on, man. Riley, over here. So we are at the Appalachian Trail Message Center, and I heard a rumor that there's trail magic here. And there's a logbook right here. How do I open the... Am I being silly here? I don't know how to open the logbook. Huh. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. So, I've heard that people in the community that are friendly to hikers stock these with trail magic. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, so a friendly neighbor just across the street there just brought a bowl for Riley. She thought he could use the bowl to drink out of, which is very, 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 very nice. Beautiful. So cold drinks, wonderful. So nice that people do this. There's coconut water. Oh my goodness. We're happy to provide trail magic for you. Please be mindful that this is meant for a quick break and not as a resupply. Yep, of course. Please remember there are many hikers who can benefit when it is used wisely. Of course, absolutely. Wow. We are going to the Stop and Shop. So, but yeah, this is very nice that they keep it stocked, well stocked. This is like the most that any town does. They really, there are really some nice people here that try to support hikers. Wow. They have envelopes. And then this is like the, they even have pudding. Oh my goodness. And this looks like other types of materials. Like maybe bags or stuff. First aid stuff. Wonderful. It is getting so dark and we are on our way. Still have to go to the grocery store. Come on, Riley. Oh my goodness, look at the dogs in there. Riley, come on, buddy. So after we go to the grocery store, I assume we're gonna be heading into those mountains over there. And those are the mountains that we came from. And I'm guessing Greylock is that one right there to the left. There was an elementary school that we just passed called Greylock School. And yeah, it's not often that you actually get to see the mountains that you were walking in, you know, from this vantage point. So that's kind of cool. Oh, buddy. I'm already getting tired. And we still have to walk a half mile to the grocery store and then a half mile back. And then we have to get into the woods and get to a campsite. And I'm already tired, so. Oh, and Riley's not coming with me. He just wants to sniff everything. This is what he does in town. I know, Riley. Oh, buddy. Anyway, I should stop complaining and just embrace everything. Over here, Riley. All right, so this is the Stop and Shop, and they just closed down, and I think they close at 10 p.m. So I think it's about 10. Riley, Riley, why are you shaking your head? What's wrong? What's wrong, buddy? You okay? So we got everything we needed at the grocery store, so that's good. I got my pack is heavier now, but it feels fine so far in my back. Riley keeps shaking his head. I hope you're Riley, what's wrong, buddy? Hey, Riley, what's wrong, buddy? What's wrong? What's wrong? We're getting back to the trail now. So I got 6 pounds of dog food. A little less than I was thinking I would get. But I do still have a little bit of dog food left over from my previous purchase. And I got a tub of oatmeal, 42 ounces. I got some instant brown rice, 14 ounces. I got a large jar of natural peanut butter, chunky, 36 ounces, I believe. I got a 16-ounce block of cheddar cheese, so that should be a nice treat. I think it'll keep, hopefully it'll keep fine. I got a box of raisin, date, and walnut instant oatmeal packets. So the box contains 10 packets of raisin, date, and walnut oatmeal. I looked at the discounted bakery container, and they had a loaf of, like, a nice loaf of bread that was half off, so I got that for $2. It was like an Ancient Grains loaf of bread. Seemed like a pretty healthy loaf of bread. And I got 2 cans of black beans, which I packed out in my peanut butter jars. And I got a, so that's everything that I've packed out, I believe. So everything that's everything that I've added to my pack. And I also got a can of wet dog food that I fed to Riley while we were packing things up at the supermarket. So our resupply is complete. It's late, but at least we have sufficient food for the next stage of our journey. And is there anything else I'm missing, Riley? We just got to get back to the trail and do some more hiking. All right. Hello. Riley and I are now safe and sound in our tent, and we have survived the day. Just want to close out the day here for day number 113. So we made it to this campsite called Sherman Brook Campsite, which was about 1.3 miles on the AT after that road that goes into Williamstown that we took to get to the Stop and Shop. And we got here, and it's supposed to have like a few sites with tent platforms, and I believe around the tent platforms there's supposed to be some flat ground where you can set up a non-freestanding tent. The tent platforms are unless they have like specific hooks built into them, you can only really set up a freestanding tent on them, because there's no place to you can't stake a non-freestanding tent into the tent platform. You can only stake it into the ground. And I have a trekking pole tent, which is a non-freestanding tent, so the tent platforms are basically useless for me as far as setting up my tent. But yeah, and so what I need is like relatively soft ground so that I can stake out all the places where the tent needs to be secured. Anyway, so we got here, and it seemed like all of the places where there were tent platforms were already occupied. Because yeah, I mean they were already occupied. So it's just pretty. It seems like we're in a stretch now where there's just lots of people on the trail. Not necessarily lots of people on the trail, but at least lots of people in the campsites and shelter areas where we're going to. So I walked like the length of the Blue Blaze Trail that goes through the campsite, and I actually got to the other end of it, and it led me back out to the AT. So I'm thinking that there's actually two entrances to this campsite at two different points on the AT. And so we originally got to the first one, and then we took the Blue Blaze Trail the entire length down. It's probably at least like 0.3 of a mile, and it led to a different point on the AT. So we turned around, and I really couldn't find I even went into one of the tent platform areas to see if there was some flat ground that I could set my tent up at, and I didn't see anything. So I started to walk out, and I was prepared to just continue to walk forward on the AT until we found a place. But as we were exiting the Blue Blaze Trail, and the Blue Blaze Trail is the trail that like basically goes through the campsite, I did see, shortly before we got back to the AT, I saw some flat ground that looked like it would be possible to set my tent up on. And so I stopped there, and that's where we are now. So I did find some ground where we could set up our tent. And fortunately, it's a little bit of ways from where all the other people are, so we do have some privacy, at least during the night. When people get up in the morning and go back to trail, they'll probably pass by our tent, assuming we haven't gotten up yet. But yeah, so at least we're in our tent now. We've accomplished our resupply, so don't have to worry about that tomorrow. We are currently at mile 1601.3, and this is called, I think I mentioned it, the Sherman Brook Campsite. So that means we started the day at 1590. So we hiked a total of 11.3 trail miles today. and like in actuality, we hiked a good bit more than 11.3 because of the distance that we went the wrong way, and then we had to retrace our footsteps a second time. But yeah, in terms of actual progress on the trail, we progressed forward by 11.3 miles, which is just slightly more than we need to average. We need to average like 11, just under 11.25 miles the rest of the way in order to finish the trail by October 15th. So that's somewhat encouraging that even though I made the mistake of going in the wrong direction and then having to double back. Plus we got off to a slow start, not necessarily getting up late, but just getting caught behind that college group for the first part of the day. And then we got delayed by the Trail Magic once we got into town, and then we got further delayed by needing to walk into the Stop and Shop. So I'm not saying this to make excuses. I'm just acknowledging that despite all of those setbacks, we were still able to not have a big day, but we were at least able to meet the minimum threshold that we need to meet in order to stay on pace to complete the trail by 10:15. So that's somewhat encouraging. And tomorrow's a new day. I'll still have the same heavy pack. We're not going to eat much food since Riley already ate at the grocery store, and I ate a good bit at the Trail Magic. The Trail Magic was really nice. I had an orange, and I had a banana, and I had an apple, and I had the banana and apple with peanut butter. They had a jar of peanut butter there, and I also had a couple bag of chips. I had some potato chips, like a little snack bag of potato chips, and a snack bag of Cool Ranch Doritos. And in one of the coolers, they had a little squirt bottle of like basically not actual cheese, but like squirtable cheese, which is kind of like fake cheese, but still tastes cheesy like. So it's kind of like a dip. And I made good use of that when I was having the chips. It was a good combination to add the cheese to the chips. So I had that, and I had a couple. They actually had pudding, so I had a couple snack packs of vanilla pudding, which was very nice. I haven't had pudding in quite a while. And they had they had just a whole nice assortment of things. And I had a little snack pack of Junior Mints. So chocolate with minty filling inside. And then I also had, to drink, I had a coconut water. So that helped to fill me up so that I'm not like starving right now like I usually am at the end of the day. And yeah, the people that stock those coolers for the Trail Magic are very impressive. It's it's just really thoughtful that they go to such lengths to be friendly and and just try to help out hikers and brighten their days. Okay, so it's getting late. I should say goodnight. We are just about a little under 2.5 miles from crossing into Vermont, which is the 12th state on the AT. So that should be a milestone for tomorrow morning. By the way, when we left the road that went into Williamstown, and just after we continued on the trail, we crossed over mile 1600, and I did see a few little signs that were left on the trail that were written in little branches to mark the 1600 mile marker. And I didn't take a picture of it because it was already dark, and I don't think it would have been possible to see it. But I did see a couple 1600 mile marker signs, so we did cross that milestone earlier this evening. And Riley is already getting his rest in, and I will say goodnight. Hope everyone is doing well, and we will check in tomorrow.